Bitcoin is not crypto. Do you understand that? Do you have any questions about that? Technically, what I'm doing, so today I'm just doing a orientation, right, of sorts. Next week is gonna be very structured. It's gonna be like we are learning, right? Today we just vibing. I'm letting you know what is in store, what is coming up. So next week is gonna be, right? You said explain, say less. So this is what a lot of people think, right? A lot of people, this is the perception they have. So a lot of people think crypto is the big pot, and Bitcoin is inside of crypto, and there's fiat here. So this is the perception, right? This is why a lot of people think that Bitcoin is a coin inside of crypto, but that's not the case. The reality is Bitcoin is on its own. Crypto is part of fiat. You understand? Because fiat is money that the government prints. Crypto is money that individuals can print. Bitcoin is money that nobody can print. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, type 21 in the chat. If you picking up what I'm putting down, type 21 in the chat. This is, again, let me go back so you get it. This is a Bitcoin show, not a crypto show. We don't do shit coins over here, right? So as Bitcoiners, you have to understand that Bitcoin is not a coin inside of the crypto space. Bitcoin is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is money. Crypto, all other coins are shit coins, and they belong in the fiat bubble because that's what it is. Understood? So here's the evolution of money, right? We started from commodity money, shells, right? Cowrie. Then we went to metallic money, right? Gold, silver. Then we evolved to fiat money, paper money, the worst. Now we on Bitcoin, digital currency, magic, internet money. The only money that was designed to be money with all the qualities of what money is supposed to be. You with me? So with shells and cowries, there were things that was already there, and we tried to turn it into money. Gold already existed, and we try to use it as money because of its, stock to flow. Then, instead of backing our money with gold, we just started printing paper, making it worse and worse and worse, right? And then Bitcoin came into the picture. You feel me? So what Bitcoiners, or what most people don't understand, is when they see Bitcoin going up and down, right? If you look at it on a daily basis, it looks very, very volatile. But if you look at it in terms of years, it's always going up. If you look at it in terms of decades, it's a no fucking brainer, right? So if you are saving in Bitcoin, remember, we are not even investing in Bitcoin. We are saving in Bitcoin. If you are saving your energy in Bitcoin, you have to look at it in terms of decades, right? 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Or don't buy Bitcoin today and wonder why it's not up tomorrow. Okay? The day you plant the seed is not the day you eat its fruit. Right? The day you have sex is not the day you have the baby. The day you get pregnant is not the day you deliver a baby. It takes time. Everything takes time. So you have to understand that if you are a Bitcoiner, you have to look at it in terms of multiple years. You feel me? So here's the thing. If you are here, this is the map you want to look at. Do you have money? If you have money, if you have cash, go buy yourself some Bitcoin. If the answer is no, then the question is, do you have a job? Right? If you have a job, study Bitcoin and buy Bitcoin. Right? If you say, yes, I have money, but not for Bitcoin, that means you don't understand Bitcoin. Study Bitcoin and buy Bitcoin. If you don't have a job, find a job, study Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin. Are y'all with me on this? You with me on this? So either way, the destination is what? Bitcoin. However you flip it. If you got it, yes, buy it. If you don't have it, go find a job because you need cash, right? Go find a job. Then study Bitcoin while you have that job and work in that job, and then you buy Bitcoin. We good? We all on the same page? Make sure you liking this shit, man, because YouTube has to understand that this movement is necessary, right? YouTube has to understand that this movement is necessary. If it understands that the movement is necessary, then it's going to push it out there. You feel me? So Bitcoin is how we fight the system together. No matter where you're coming from, no matter your skin color, Bitcoin is our time to say, fuck the system. This is our power. This is the first time that we have this much power to say, fuck the system. Buy Bitcoin, fuck the system. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. Let's keep it going. So, this is something a lot of people don't know. And as this mentorship or this free course goes on, you're going to learn. You're going to see. A lot of people don't know this yet, right? And I've been in the game for a minute. And I know a thing or two about a thing or two, right? So we are about 766 days away from the next Bitcoin halving, right? We are potentially about 239 days away from the bottom. And at the bottom, we buy Bitcoin in bulk, right? At the bottom, you are not trying to buy $20 or $50 or $200. This is how you change lives, right? So I've been tracking this for a long time, and I've been on point, right? So this isn't nothing you want to play with. I'm giving you $18 trillion worth of game, and the fact that I'm giving you this type of game and paying you to show up, a lot of you guys don't know the power of what we are doing yet, right? A lot of you don't know, but as time goes on, you're gonna be like, oh shit, I can fucking change my life, right? And remember, the cost of living is different depending on where you are from, right? So the cost of living in Kenya, Bermuda, Jamaica, Ghana, Nigeria, it's not the same as the United States, right? So depending on what happens, Bitcoin can give you such a raise, right? So I have a countdown, and the countdown is to buy Bitcoin with a loan. I have a strategy for that, right? And also, for those of you in the United States with bad credit, who here got bad credit? And this question is for the folks in the US. Who here in the United States got bad credit? Your credit is trash. You can't get a phone in your name. Your credit is like 400. You? Who else? I want to see how many people got fucked up credit and you can't get a loan. Okay, we got 2. How many people? This is just for the US folks. How many people have fucked up credit and you can't get a loan? Wait, is it 21 mean is you? Are you confirming that you got bad credit? So the goal is check what I'm doing. So I'm doing this, and I'll get into it later on. But in the coming weeks, right? In the coming weeks, I'm gonna offer a service where I fix your credit for you, right? 100%. Fix your credit, sweep your credit for you, get you a loan, right? Get you a loan up to about 50 grand, but you will only pay me if I fix your credit and get you the loan. If I fix your credit and get you the loan, 15% proof of work, right? So you don't have to trust me, bro. I will do it on the front end, no charge. Fix your fucked up credit because you fucked up your credit. Fix it. Get you a loan. You run me 15%. Proof of work. Nobody is doing that. And at the end of the day, I'm going to show you how to leverage that. Because if you're not using the loan to purchase Bitcoin to change your life, then the fuck are you using the loan for? You see what I'm saying? So we'll get to that later. So if you are interested, let me know. You feel me? Hope it's not a strategy. All right? We are approximately 1,324 days away from the cycle top, right? So 1,324 days from the top. The top may be 180,000. The top may be 200,000. The top may be 300,000, right? So if we are sitting at 68,000 or 67,000, right? And we are potentially going to 250,000. Think about the opportunity you have in front of you. We are about 110,000 blocks away, right? So think about the opportunity you have if it goes to 200K. And I appreciate it. The Fab Life, get the likes up, man. We are not here to play. Man, am I dropping game or am I fooling around? Let me know in the chat. Am I gradually cooking or are we just here fooling around? We are not. Listen, for 52 weeks, I show up here. I'm giving you value, shit that you can take and go build on, shit that you can take and change your life. I'm not here to just be on YouTube just talking, right? I got close to 100 slides. I did not come here to play, and this shit is free. So get the likes up. Make sure when we are done, you tell a friend to tell a friend, because we are here to stay. Let's go. So just so you know, I have a Discord, right? Moon Boys. I have a community where we do this every day. On YouTube, I'm here to give you guys some game, but I have a community where I teach folks how to trade and buy Bitcoin, right? But I only open my enrollment up 3 times a year. All right? April, August, and November, right? I don't do monthly payments. It's annual subscription only. All right? So I have a countdown for that as well. And I do that, then I give game, then I do it again 3 months later, then I give game. So I don't have to worry about monthly shit, right? It's not cheap, by the way. But as a matter of fact, so I got this going on. Let me show you this real quick. And folks who, if you know you can't afford it, don't even do that. So I'm gonna show you something real quick. I'm gonna show you something. So, folks, this is just for serious people. This is for serious people, all right? So I'm gonna post this and I'll explain. So yeah, I dropped the link, and over here, right, what is happening is for a I have a but this let me explain. Don't get carried away. Let me explain. It's a 3-day free trial. Right? 3-day free trial, but it's only giving you access to the wait list. But remember, access is powerful, right? And for 3 months, you pay $15, right? But while you are in there, you may catch something while you wait, right? Because I'm still posting on the Discord, we still posting receipts, we still talking, you know what I mean? So this is just so you are in the weight room, but I'm not giving you any plays, but I give you a little bit of crumbs here and there. You feel me? Because last time I did this, I had thousands of people sign up, right? Because I did it for free. So this time around, I'm like, I only want people who have good intention, or people who are not there to just take, right? People who are serious, who want to tap in. And so there's a small fee, right? $5 a month, essentially. You know, it shows intent. So that is by the way. You know what I'm saying? So if you are interested, it's 3 days. So if you are a lurker, if you are a user, you can get in 3 days, look around and leave, right? 3 full days. So technically, you don't have to pay shit, right? All right, let's keep it going. So if you are interested, let's keep it going. Who here understands what's on the screen? Who here understands what's on the screen? And you know, today I'm basically just talking, right? We are vibing. But next week is going to be in order, to the point where if you come in week 3, you'll be able to go to week 1, right? From preschool and say, okay, I don't understand this. Let me go back, right? To preschool. So today we just talking. I'm just throwing things at you so that you get an idea of the type of shit we are talking about here, right? So this is the Bitcoin time chain calendar. If you are a Bitcoin newbie or Bitcoin virgin, a lot of this shit might seem, confusing to you, but everything on this screen makes sense. Because Bitcoin has its own clock, right? This is essentially a Bitcoin clock. So you see, somebody had asked a question. Over to the top left-hand side, it shows you the halving, right? This is the number of blocks left until Bitcoin halves, right? When Bitcoin halves, the subsidy that shows, I'm looking at the top left hand, it shows 3.125, right? That 3.125 will be slashed into 2, right? That's what the Bitcoin halving is. Right now, we have mined, out of 21 million, we have mined 19.99. So we are almost at 20 million mined out of the 21 million. So there's essentially only 1 million Bitcoin left. And it's going to take over 100 years for the remaining 1 million Bitcoin to be extracted into the future. Into the present, right? So right now, the Bitcoin that has not been mined exists, but it exists in space, in outer space, right? So synonymous to gold is mined out of the ground, right? And we bring it above ground. Bitcoin is in space. So we have to mine it out of space and bring it here on Earth, right? So the Bitcoins already existed, but they were existing in space. And you have to use proof of work to extract it from where it was to here. And right now we've extracted 20 million, almost 20 million, right? Which is now either lost or in somebody's wallet. And the remaining 1 million that is yet to be extracted will take over 100 years to get it here. So it's your job to make sure that you study it and get as much Bitcoin as possible, because it will change your life, right? You don't have time, because the more people understand it, the more they buy and they hold, and they are not planning to share or sell. So understanding this will make you see the importance of what I'm doing here, because I clearly know the value, right? I clearly understand what it is, but I'm still here trying to give it to you for free, right? MicroStrategy owns over 700 and something thousand Bitcoin right now. And that is insane. Out of the 21 million Bitcoins that would exist, there's approximately about 4 or 5 million Bitcoins that is lost forever, right? So it makes the supply even more scarce, but I can go on and explain everything that is on here, but that'll be for another day. We'll have a class on this, but I want you to understand there's a clock you wear on your a time on your wrist, on your watch, or the time on your phone, and then there's the Bitcoin time chain. So Bitcoin if you read the white paper, Satoshi's white paper, the white paper never mentioned a blockchain, right? So blockchain is something that we made up. But Bitcoin itself, according to Satoshi, is a time chain, right? So the proper term is time chain. Everybody type time chain. Make sure you're liking this movement. It's not even alive. This is university. This is Bitcoin college, right? Time chain calendar. Bitcoin is a time chain, not a blockchain, right? Blockchain is something that we made up, but the intention is that everything is time stamped. I think somebody said it on here. Everything is time stamped, right? It has its own clock. It has its own brain. There are only two things that are truly limited in life, right? Your time, Bitcoin. Everything else can be manipulated. Cash, you can make more, right? Cars, there's going to be better cars, right? Everything else is not truly limited. There are only two things that are truly limited on this planet. It's Bitcoin and your life. And with time, it gets smaller, smaller, and smaller. The same way you are living to die, the same thing applies to Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin is the only money that understands you and respects your energy. Type 21 if you think I'm cooking over here. I'm trying to leave you with something, right? Not just sats. I'm trying to give you something deeper for you to think about, right? Because once it really connects, then you're gonna buy it and hold it. If you don't understand it, right? Or if your understanding is surface level, when it goes up to 100%, you be ready to sell it, right? But always ask yourself, what am I selling it for? Right? If you're gonna sell Bitcoin, the question is, am I selling this for money they can print? So you've got in your hands on money that cannot be manipulated, and the first thing you want to do is to sell it for melted ice cubes. That don't even make any sense, right? So my job or my goal here is to make sure I educate you enough that when you get hold of Bitcoin, you hold it. You don't sell it for nothing. Unless what you're selling it for is more limited than Bitcoin. So you're selling it for life. Somebody is dying and you have to sell it for that, then sure. Otherwise, there's no other reason, right? You with me? Y'all with me? Or listen, the sats is gonna come, but the knowledge is more important, right? The knowledge is more important. So my wife says she's irreplaceable. I said Robin had told me to grab more. But man, listen, she might fight with you, but hey, I ain't never lie. Everybody is replaceable. especially if you got some sats. Listen, if you got some sats, oh, that's a whole lot of shit you can replace. Because in the future, the people with the sats are gonna be the new millionaires, right? And billionaires. So imagine 10, 20 years from now, you got a whole lot of Bitcoin and you can buy a new wife any day, right? Wives will be lined up, waiting on you because you're the man. You know what I'm saying? All right. Oh, so if you save in dollars and not in Bitcoin, you don't understand money. And that's a big fucking deal, right? Because a lot of people don't understand money, right? The same way we use electricity, but we don't understand electricity, right? Just because you use something, just because you know how to use something, doesn't necessarily mean you understand that thing, right? We use the internet all the time. 95% of us don't understand what the internet is or how it works. You understand what I'm saying? So we spend our time chasing money, and majority of us don't understand or know what money is or what money is supposed to be. We just chase it because we know what we can spend, what we can buy with it, but do we understand what it is or what it was really designed to be, right? So if you're saving money or if you're saving your life, right? Because life is essentially your time, your most valuable asset. So if you're saving that in a bank, in cash, you just don't understand what money is. And if you don't understand what money is, you don't understand what your life is and what your time is, right? So let's keep it going. Bitcoin supply facts. I think we already talked about this, but this is old, right? Bitcoin supply facts, 21 million max supply already mined. When I captured this, it was at 19.7. When we looked at the time chain calendar, we already at 19.99, right? So as you can see, the clock is ticking for Bitcoin, just like the clock is ticking for your life, right? Clock is ticking for Bitcoin, clock is ticking for your life, your time is ticking. So a few months ago or a year ago or however long that was, it was 19.7. Right now it's 19.9. A few months from now or however long it's going to take, we going to see 20 point something. So it's getting less and less and less, right? Tick-tock. Price of a home in Bitcoin. People don't understand this. I say this all the time. The value of houses are not going up, right? So if you have the opportunity within the next decade to either buy a house or buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin. Let me say that again. If you have the opportunity to buy a home, right, versus Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin. Because 10 years later, you'll be able to buy 10 of those homes. That's the opportunity cost, right? So 2016, a regular home in the United States was about 288,000, and it would have took you 664,000. 664 Bitcoins to buy that home, right? 2020, it went from 664 to 45 Bitcoin. And then the value of a home in America went from 288 to 328. 2024, the value of a home in America was 434,000. And at the same time, it cost 6 Bitcoin. So you notice that in Bitcoin, your life gets cheaper, right? It gets cheaper. Whereas in the fiat world, in the real estate world, everything goes up. Everything becomes more expensive. So the person in 2016, if they decided instead of buying a home for 288, they were going to buy Bitcoin instead, that's 664 Bitcoin times 67,000 right now. It's now $44 million, right? So here's the trick. And that's what I want you to understand and take from this. That home, let's say there are two people. One person decided to buy a home for 288,000. That's that same house, right? in 2026 is now worth, let's say, 400,000. But the person who took that 288 and bought Bitcoin, that same Bitcoin is now worth $44 million. You see the difference? The person who bought that home in 2016 still hasn't paid off that home. They still got a mortgage, right? They still slaving to survive. Now, the person who took their bread and bought Bitcoin instead, right? If you divide the 44 million by the average home, let's say the average home is 434,700, we're going to divide 44 million by 434,700. They could buy 102 of that same home. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Type 21 if you picking up what I'm putting down. Because I'm trying to cook here. Y'all thought you were just showing up for some stats? Nah, you gonna get this game. You gonna get this game. Right? Okay. How about the person in 2020? Now remember, COVID, it's only 6 years ago, right? 6 years ago. So let's say 6 years ago, you and your cousin or your friend, you both had the opportunity to buy a home for $328,000. Let's say you had $328,000 and they had $328,000. They took their $328,000 and bought a home. And they had a nice housewarming thing, right? People came, they took pictures, they posted it on Instagram, right? And you, on the other hand, you bought Bitcoin. So you have 45 Bitcoin, they have 0. But their house has appreciated on paper to $434,000, right? So you take 434,700 minus 328,900. They have gained $105,000 in equity in 6 years, right? If you divide that by 6, that's about $17,000 a year, all right? Now, the person who bought the Bitcoin times 67,000, they have made $3 million, right? That Bitcoin is now worth $3 million. If you take that $3 million and divide it by 6, that is $502,000. You understand? So the person who went with the real estate still owes money on the real estate. They haven't paid it off. It's only 6 years. And if you go get a loan, you have to understand that the first 10 years you pay in the bank, right? So you don't own that home. The person who bought that Bitcoin averaged $500,000 in pure equity every year. If you take that 3 million that they have and you divide it by the current value of the house, right? They could buy 7 of those homes cash if they want to, right? So now we in 2026. Ask yourself, 10 years from now, how much is it going to cost in Bitcoin to buy a home, right? So if you're thinking about going to park 400,000, think twice. Think twice. You with me? Are we cooking or are we cooking? Are we cooking or are we cooking? Oh, you thought you were just coming here for some sats. Oh, you thought you were just coming here for some sats like I did the first week. Hey, you get a sat, you get a sat, you get a sat. No, you gonna earn these sats. You gonna learn. You gonna learn. And see, the fortunate thing for you is I have the skill. I can teach you the skill, right? I can teach you a skill that allows you to extract money from any market, regardless of where you are. You could be in Indonesia, you could be in Cambodia, you can be in Jamaica. I can teach you how to extract money so that you can park it in Bitcoin. That's what makes this movement unique, right? Because we're not just here talking about Bitcoin. The question is, okay, Bitcoin is great. How do I get my hands on Bitcoin? I don't have enough. I'm in Haiti. I'm in Ghana. I'm in Nigeria. I'm in Kenya. I'm in Bermuda. I'm in Jamaica. I'm in this. I'm in that. It doesn't matter. I could teach you how to extract money from Wall Street, right? Let's keep it going. You don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. I hope you guys understand that, right? A Satoshi is the smallest unit of a Bitcoin, equivalent to 0.000000001 TC, right? So you don't have to buy 10 Bitcoin, 5 Bitcoin, 2 Bitcoins. You can buy a fraction of a Bitcoin, right? So if I'm giving away 10,000 sats, 21,000 sats, this is the equivalent, right? 1 Bitcoin is made up of 100 million sats, right? 100 million sats, 1 Bitcoin. 10 million sats is a tenth of a Bitcoin, right? 1 million sats is basically 1/100 of a Bitcoin. Then you have 100,000 sats and 10,000 sats, right? Today, I'm over here. I've already crossed 1 million, right? Today, by the time I'm done, would have crossed 1 million Satoshis given. Not 1 million Satoshis acquired. 1 million sats given freely to random people that I don't know. Even though I understand that the sats that I'm giving you in 6 years, 7 years, 8 years might be 10 times more, right? So you have to understand, if somebody gives you dollars, they're giving you something that is dying, right? But essentially, if I give you $15 worth of sats, right? And Bitcoin 20x's, I just gave you $300 in value. You have to understand, so that it's more beneficial if you really care about somebody. See, Sensei Zay, you get it. You literally took the words out of my mouth. If you really care about somebody, you don't give them dollars, you give them sats, because the dollars is melting, it's dying, right? So this goes to show you the power of this movement. If I didn't give a damn, I wouldn't give you sats. Why would I give you sats? I know the value. Why would I give you something that I can hold on to and get richer and nobody can get? But see, you gotta have it to give. Bars. Again, you don't have to own a whole Bitcoin to build wealth, right? So this is another way to show the same thing, right? 50% of a Bitcoin is 50 million sats. 40% of a Bitcoin is 40 million sats. 30% of a Bitcoin, 30 million sats, right? 20% of a Bitcoin is 20 million sats. 10% of a Bitcoin, 10 million sats. I'm definitely gonna give more than 10 million sats this year, right? Probably 20 million, 30 million sats. You think about it, right? If 30 million sats is 30% of a Bitcoin, right? Let's say Bitcoin is 70K times 30%, right? That is essentially like 21,000, right? If Bitcoin 20x's in the future, that is close to, that is this year alone, that is close to like $500,000 if you look at it. And I understand that, right? I'm doing that with the knowledge, with the understanding that every dollar I give in sats is worth 20, 30, 40, 50 in the future. I want you to understand that. That way you understand that. Don't play with my time. Don't play with the sats. And please, when you get the sats, don't go liquidate it into dollars, right? Because that is disrespectful to my time, disrespectful to everybody else that is trying to get a piece, and disrespectful to your own future, right? Who understands this equation? Who understands this equation? Who understands this equation? There's 32 halvings, right? 32 halvings. Every 210,000 blocks, Bitcoin has, right? Bitcoin started with 50 Bitcoin per every block mine and is divided by 2, right? So it's divided by 2, and 25 divided by 2, then 12.5 divided by 2, divide until there's no Bitcoin left. So this is the Bitcoin math. Bitcoin math, right? It's on you to get you to where you want to be. I'm just here to guide you. And I don't think there's anybody with the knowledge and the experience and the action to be your guide, right? Not only am I here giving you the information, I'm being practical, right? I'm being practical, and I'm giving you facts. That alone, nobody is doing that. You know why? Can somebody tell me why nobody will do what I'm doing? Please tell me in the chat. Why nobody will do what I'm doing? Can somebody tell me why? I want to know that this isn't a space that anybody will want to copy. That's available, you're right. That's available. Okay, what else? Greed, that is, you absolutely right. What else? Too much information, they want to keep it a secret. Yeah. What else? They don't give a fuck about you, right? Obviously, you wouldn't give a fuck about somebody you don't know, right? Because you're a Satoshi. Oh, okay. Right? All right, let's keep it going. So, this is what I'm talking about, right? So, we have the Bitcoin as the destination, but we need a machine, right? We need a tool. We need a car to get us there, right? The car is trading. Okay, the car could be your 9 to 5. The car could be you hustling, right? Bitcoin is the destination. How do you get there? You can't buy Bitcoin with no money. You have to exchange some value, right? You have to go fix something. Yeah, and you have to go fix a problem. Then somebody will give you dollars, or somebody will pay you for whatever problem you fix. Then you will have some cash to stack some sats. You get it? So I want you to I want you to look at this here, right? This was 2024. And you see up here, I posted this, right? And I said, The Big Short. I said, I low-key feel sorry for some of you clueless fucks, right? You wouldn't know what's about to hit you. You will FOMO by listening to the wrong folks. You will get rug pulled 100%. You will round trip back to the pits of hell. I feel sorry for followers of EYL, Ian Dunlap, and all these fake crypto gurus popping out every day. What is the time at the bottom here? Somebody type in the chat. What time do we have at the bottom? When did I say this? And who has seen this movie? Do y'all know this movie? December 12, 2024, right? Now I put myself in there. So if you know this movie is The Big Short, right? And in The Big Short, he kept warning folks that the market was going to drop. So while everybody was euphoric and excited and thinking it was going up for it, I was already warning folks that you have to understand the cycle. If you understood the cycle, you would know that the seasonal top will be near, right? There's a science to it. It's math. It's predictable to a sense, right? So back around that same time, I started to tell folks to buy Robinhood, right? So Robinhood was trading at $9. It was actually lower than that, right? It was actually, I think, like it went down to like $7 and some change. And I started telling people, so you can see it here. The affordable gem today is Hood, right? And I started telling folks buy Hood because Robinhood moves with Bitcoin, right? A lot of newbies, when they come into the game, Robinhood is the first crypto platform they will go to buy Bitcoin, just like Coinbase, right? So if you understand cycles and how it works, you would have been able to leverage, again, take money from Wall Street to stack sats. And I'm here again trying to tell you what is likely going to happen again. This is how you extract. You use a little bit of money, you turn it into a lot of money, and you stack it into the best form of money. Type 21 if you pick it up what I'm putting. Type 21. Type 21 if you get in it. Because we are strategic over here, right? We are strategic over here. All right? So again, look at the date. Please tell me, what is the date on the screen? What's the date on the screen? What's the date on the screen? Just so you understand, this is not luck, right? July 10th, 2023. Nobody was paying attention. Nobody was paying attention, right? I said, I mean literally brought y'all this affordable sleeping giant just a month ago. Who ate? Now, mind you, Robinhood went all the way up to $150 something, right? Let's keep it going. Look at it. So you see, I don't know if you can see it properly here, right? This is one of the folks in my Discord, and you can see when they bought it, right? You can see the percentage over here. So you see the date they bought Robinhood, right? It went up 3,274%. You see that? So they turned 300 and something dollars to $11,000. And it had a 2-year expiration, right? So you see the date bought was January 16, 2024. Let me see if I can enlarge. I don't think I can enlarge it, but can you guys see? Can you see it? Let me know if you can see it. So that is 3,274 bucks, right? Because they spent 300 and something dollars, right? But what if they spend, let's say 15? Let's say they spent 1,500, right? Let's say they spent 2,500. Let's say they understood what they were doing, so they spent 2,500. So that'll be 2,500 times 3,274%. They would have turned $2,500 to $81,000. And then guess what? Now you can take, let's say 50,000 and buy half a Bitcoin, or 60% of a Bitcoin, or 70% of a Bitcoin, or 80% of a Bitcoin. And it essentially came from $300. Do you understand what I'm telling you? You could potentially buy a whole Bitcoin with $300 by leveraging, trading, extracting from Wall Street. I don't think you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. Are you feeling me? Am I cooking? Are you getting where we are going with this? You getting where we going with this? You getting where we going with this? This is 300. It was 115 times 3. $345. Flip that to $11,000, right? That is because he only spent 300. He could have spent 5,000, and he still would have made that same 3,000%, right? And what is crazy is this contract went up to do like 8,000%, because at the time of this screenshot, Robinhood was $62. By January, Robinhood went up to 150. This contract did like 9,000%, right? So this person spent $300, 345 times 9,000%, right? 345 times 9,000%. He basically turned 300 to 31,000, right? And I'm not saying this just to brag. I'm saying this to tell you that this opportunity is going to happen again. You understand what I'm saying? This opportunity is going to happen again and again and again and again. But you got to know what you're doing so that you can take a little bit of money and turn it into a whole lot of money. This is me. This is where Robinhood was. This is a screenshot that I posted in real time, right? I said the affordable gem today is hooked. I'm buying leap call options on Robinhood because the fundamentals and technical analysis support bullishness. I can go on and on with the reasons why I'm getting in, but I'm tired, plus it's boring. Go do your own research. So Robinhood looked like this. and it went all the way to 150. There's going to be a lot of opportunities that are lining up. And if you know what you're doing, you will take a little bit of money and turn it into a whole lot of money. So look at me, right? So look, this is the same. So I posted this in real time. A lot of you folks may have found me on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, right? And you may not know me. So in this class, I have to reintroduce myself just so you know what I'm about, right? So you don't think, oh, this guy is just giving away sats. What does he do? Some people don't even know what I do, right? But this is what I do, right? So I gave the contracts. You can see this was September 2023, right? I said this is not financial advice. This is for educational purposes. It's my own personal plays that I'm documenting. I said, buy this. This was the cost. Buy this. This was the cost. This ended up doing like 5,000%. This ended up doing like 7,000%, right? So $143 times 7,000%. 143 turned into 10 grand. And I posted that in real time, right? All right, just want you to know, so you understand, I'm not new to this game, I'm strategic. And if you hang around 52 weeks, your life is gonna change. I can guarantee you that. In Denzel Washington voice, I can guarantee you that. All right? I did the same thing. Please tell me what the date is at the bottom here. Tell me what the date is at the bottom there. And look at how many, tell me what the date is, and please tell me how many likes I got. Tell me what the date is at the bottom. I just want to make sure you understand that this ain't ChatGPT. This ain't Photoshop. This ain't AI. December 16, 2022. Got 20 likes. And this made tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars. You understand? I said we are here to invest. Coinbase was at 37%. How down was Coinbase on this chat? Look at that. How down was Coinbase? How down was Coinbase? It shows you on the screen. How down was Coinbase? Because we are here to learn. Once you learn, you can earn. But you have to understand the possibilities that is out there in the market and what you can do once you tap in. Coinbase was down 85%, right? It was down 200. Who said 37? No, not the price. The percentage down. You see the percentage down? In parentheses, 85%. So that means it was trading at $250 and it dropped. So at the time of the screen, the time of this post, it was down 85%. And a lot of people were calling it dead. They saying they're going bankrupt. But I understood that it goes with Bitcoin, right? It goes with Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin was down to 16,000, of course, Coinbase will be bleeding too, right? But if you were to buy it, hold it for 2-3 years, you made a lot of money because Coinbase went as high as 3 something, right? So it went from 37 to 300 and something. It's a lot of money. Again, I said this. When it started to go up, right? Coinbase is a bargain today. Fuck the Feds. Coinbase was at $50. Even today, after the market that went up and dropped, Coinbase is still trading at $200, right? I said the feds are scared, but scared money don't make no money, right? You see somebody asking, when should we buy leaks for? Because it might go down the next 3 to 6 months. Somebody was trying to market on my shit. I said, bro, stop marketing your shit on my page. I don't need your commentary. I got them. Go get your own people, right? I was telling folks, I said leaps. Leap option is when you buy an options contract and your expiration is at least 1 year, right? And we will go over that at 52 weeks. So do you understand that in 52 weeks, you are getting a top level education delivered to you on YouTube for free? The shit that people pay tens of thousands for, I'm giving it to you for free here on YouTube, and I'm paying you stats. I don't think you guys understand. I'm not just here to brag. I'm literally here to open your goddamn eyes like the Bird Box shit. And the thing is, it doesn't matter where you are. That's the thing. That's the key. It doesn't matter where you are. If you are tapped in a year from, and we at the perfect time. We in the bear market, and that is when millionaires are made, right? So make sure you're not just here for the sats, because the sats is just crumbs. So it wasn't just Coinbase. It wasn't just Robinhood. Look at me on Meta. Meta went as high as $700. I'm telling you to buy it at 180 something, 135, 200. All right. Just want you to understand. So the goal is to leverage Wall Street. Take the money or leverage whatever, Forex, leverage the futures market, leverage the commodities market, learn how to trade, use that as a vehicle to stack sats. Even if you've got a job, this is extra money. So I post free shit all the time, right? Free shit all the time. And I have a technical strategy to do that. It's not based on feelings. It's based on price action. Do you guys know what price action is? Type in the chat if you know what price action is. I might start doing this on TikTok too. Guys, you think I should take this to TikTok? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Should I stream? I should probably stream this on TikTok simultaneously. All right, man. Next time. I appreciate it. YouTube. Yeah, so price action is studying of price charts, right? So yeah, this thing here, I posted it on Instagram, right? This was NVIDIA, and we use price action, and over the course of the 52 weeks, you're gonna learn everything I know, basically, right? So the information, I'm gonna give you the information for free. The execution, you have to pay, right? So if you wanna get in and do it with me, then you have to be part of my community. But if you want the information and go do it on your own, I'm gonna give you the information, right? So I posted this on Instagram for free. I said free game. You see that on the top? Free game, NVIDIA. I gave them the contract. Buy this. Buy NVIDIA. It was May 13th, right? So if you look at the bottom, you see May 13th, NVIDIA. Buy NVIDIA, 125 call, expiring 7/18. This contract went up, and look at the amount of money it made. Somewhat. Right? Look at the money it made somewhat. You see that? 98%, 162%. And this is how you extract from Wall Street and you go stack sats, right? Because how long would it take you to work to get $3,200? You feel what I'm saying? And here's the thing, right? For the people, how many people, tell me again, where are you guys from? In the chat, I want to make a point. Where are you guys from? Everybody tell me where you are tapping in from. I want to make a point. I want to see where everybody is from. We got Kenya, we got North Carolina, we got Venezuela, we got Houston, Texas, New York in the building. Who else? Come on. We got damn near 50 people on here. Venezuela, Kenya. Come on. From the rabbit hole. Come on, Uganda. Where else? Come on, I need to make a point. Venezuela. Okay. Where else? Canada. Okay. Neighbor. Kenya. Where else? Florida in the house. Where's CU? Baltimore in the house. Where else? Where's CU? Come on. What? Where is that? Material. Where is that? Indonesia. Okay. So I guess that's enough places for me to make my point, right? Even if you can't do options, right? Even if you can't trade options, you can trade Forex. And with the Forex market or the crypto market, maybe you can't buy NVIDIA, maybe you can't get access to the US stock market. And you can trade this, right? You can trade shitcoin. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. If you understand how to trade, you can extract money from trading cryptos to buy Bitcoin, trading shitcoins to buy Bitcoin. And it all boils down to your understanding of price action. If you understand price action, you can apply it to shitcoins, right? You can apply it to gold. You can apply it to silver. You can apply it to stocks. So you might be thinking, oh, but I can't buy NVIDIA because I'm not in the US. I can't trade Coinbase or whatever. This is available to anybody. This is crypto options. Type crypto options in the chat. Type crypto options in the chat. In case you ain't know, you thought I was only here for my US folks. This is a black Robin Hood, man. Crypto options. So if you in Kenya, if you in Afghanistan, if you in Iran, Iraq, the UK, Cambodia, Indonesia, doesn't matter where you are. Well, what I'm going to teach you over the course of 52 weeks, there's no barrier. You understand? And you can trade this, make a lot of money, take that money and stack that. So, traditionally, this is what they tell you, right? Dave Ramsey, how to invest your money. Mutual funds, real estate. Fuck that. Buy Bitcoin. So we're making it very simple. Go hustle, go trade, go get a 9 to 5. You get that cash, pocket in Bitcoin, right? Very simple. You ain't got to do all of this shit because at the end of the day, none of this shit is going to outperform Bitcoin. All right. So this here, we are looking at XRP in Bitcoin, right? So we are talking shit coins, shit stocks measured in Bitcoin, right? So on the left-hand side of the screen was XRP when it hit its all-time high, right? But when you measure XRP in US dollars, it looks like it's going up until you measure it in Bitcoin, right? So everything looks like it's going up until you measure it in an asset that cannot be manipulated. See, cash can be manipulated, right? It can't be manipulated. It is being manipulated as we speak, right? Real estate, manipulated. Stocks, manipulated. The only thing you can manipulate is Bitcoin, right? So when you are measuring the value of your home in dollars, it looks like it's going up because they put in more dollars. So of course, the value of your house is going to go up because you need more cash because they put in more cash. So you're going to be like, oh, my house is now worth 100,000 more because they printed so much cash that you need more cash to buy a new home. But if you price it in Bitcoin, you realize that your house ain't doing nothing. Your house is dying in Bitcoin. The opportunity cost of you buying that house would have been better if you put it in Bitcoin because against Bitcoin, your house is a losing asset. Your stocks are losing assets, right? So this is XRP measured in Bitcoin. This is gold. So gold, if you look at gold, look at the on the left-hand side is gold, right? From 2009, it went up. This is the gold. This is not the spot gold. This is gold ETF, right? So the gold ETF, it looked like it's going up until you measure it in Bitcoin. Then you realize that it's actually dying against Bitcoin, right? So on the left-hand side is gold measured in USD. On the right-hand side is gold measured in BTC. So if you want to see the true value of anything, you have to measure it in a metric that cannot be manipulated. Understand? This is NVIDIA measured in USD, NVIDIA measured in BTC. So NVIDIA has done incredible, the most valuable company in the world, right? And it looks like it's going up and 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 up. And it's amazing until you measure it in Bitcoin. Then you realize it's not as amazing as you think, which means in 2015 or 2012 or 2009 or 2010, if you had the same amount of money and you put it in Bitcoin versus NVIDIA, go figure, right? This is Tesla. On the left-hand side is Tesla, regular Tesla on the stock market. The Tesla was trading at like $20, then it went up, then it did a stock split, and it's traded at 400 and something, right? Looks amazing, Tesla, insane. And then you measure it in Bitcoin, and you're like, oh shit, right? It's dying. Am I in the same live or is this pre-recorded? The fuck? Does it seem like it's pre-recorded? What makes you think this is pre-recorded? At A.R.K. Sisters Family 53 whatever. This ain't no pre-recorded. We ain't doing no pre-recorded shit here. You know what I'm saying? So now you get it. You get that you're live. This is live shit. All right. Okay. This is Apple. Apple on the left hand side is Apple in US dollars. So you can see it's amazing. Everybody is gonna tell you, buy Apple, buy Apple, buy Apple. But if you had money in 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, where would you rather put your money, Bitcoin or Apple? Because Apple priced the Bitcoin as a dying asset, it's trending to zero. So, again, as you can see, I'm not new to this. In 2024, January, I already said, these are my leap options. All 26 expiration. I will put out the strikes out soon, but this is it. So 2 years before the bull run, I was able to capitalize on these. Mara, Riot, PayPal. PayPal didn't really do much, but Coinbase went crazy. BTBT Ant, but Robinhood went insane. Meta went insane. CleanSpark did amazing. Ethereum, Grayscale Ethereum did amazing from like $7 to damn near $40, right? But if you look at the date that I posted this on, it goes to show you that this is a strategic move. This isn't getting lucky. This is understanding patterns and capitalizing on it, right? And I'm telling you to say this, it's gonna happen again. Made a lot of money, right? And it's lining up again. We are around the same time we were when we started planting the seed, right? So just so you know, I do this. We extract, right? I posted the link in my Discord. We extract from Wall Street to buy Bitcoin. And granted, some of these people in my Discord, they're still chasing cash, right? So this guy joined my Discord, they didn't know shit, right? I'm talking about, he didn't know nothing about trading. But as you can see, that's 173% year to date. He ended up losing all this shit, right? Because some people are their own worst enemies. I don't know, he's probably on here, but he knows. But at the end of the day, I did my work, right? And I have the receipt to show you that I can get you the bread. Now, what you do with it, that is on you. I can teach you the skill to extract 72 grand in a year, 6 months. Did he go buy Bitcoin with it? No. Because he thought he could just keep on flipping, right? And on the bottom left-hand side, you see it shows SPY, right? So SPY is or used to be the benchmark, right? SPY used to be the standard. So the standard that Wall Street tries to beat is about 13%, 12%, right? Because that's the S&P 500. So the S&P 500 is the measuring standard. Okay. I got this guy to 173%, right? So take 173 divided by 13.5. That means he outperformed the S&P 500 by 12 times, right? By 12 times. And so what I teach works, because now he could have took that 72 and bought a Bitcoin, right? All right, maybe you might think that is luck. Look at this guy. So this guy, he was in my live, I was doing free joint, right? Tell me why this guy turned 2K to 81K. Like, so on Sundays in my Discord, I do Zooms, right? And so at that time, I was doing, the shit was free. So the free people, that is why now I'm doing a $15 for 3 months entry, right? Because this dude joined the Zoom, right? Got game, bought these contracts, flipped $2,000 to, actually he did about 90,000. And then he dipped. And then he dipped. He was going. So eventually he came back another week and I was like, God damn, I made you $90,000 and you ain't even offered to buy coffee or something. You know what I'm saying? $2,000 to $81,000. Bro, look at the time. The date he bought it, that is like in 2 weeks. Right? So imagine the possibility. Imagine the possibilities. It's insane. And of course, it's not always going to be like this, but you see the possibilities and how you can take a little bit of money, leverage it, and buy a whole biddy. You see what I'm saying? This is how you play the game. Not just listening to people talking about Bitcoin this, Bitcoin that. If you don't have no bread, how are you going to buy the Bitcoin? Right? So I'm a Bitcoin maxi, but I teach you how to extract cash to stack sats. You feel me? Let's keep it going. That's him right there. So if I'm lying, I'm dying. That's him right there. You see the top? You see what it says? Made this recently. Made someone's salary on 2K. Thank you, Block, for the lesson. You see that? What is the percentage? Type the percentage in the chat. What is the percentage? Type the percentage in the chat. Hey, vague cram something. If you don't shut up, I will kick you out real quick. Not about to be on here distracting the show. Keep typing, I will block you. What the fuck you think this is? Yeah, he about to get blocked, man. Fuck you think this is? Salvation Army? No, the 57% was just that day, right? So if you're looking on the, if you look, you'll see it says today's return and total return, right? We're talking about total return. $4,000%, right? So, you know, it's proof of work. I want to show you these things so that when the time comes, you will know that it works. It's worked for a lot of people. It continues to work for